And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the old ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. It is September 1847. On the rocky heights of Chapultepec, a few miles from Mexico City, a battle is taking place. The final and decisive battle of the war between the United States and Mexico. Our story tonight is about one of the heroes of that battle. A young West Point graduate by the name of Reno. Jesse Lee Reno, his full name was. Rank of second lieutenant, and the idol of the men who served under him.
Sorry I had to salute with my left, boys. I'm even sorrier I had to miss the surrender.
That was a surprise, all right, Lieutenant. Here we push on to Mexico City expecting to fight it out there.
Only to find Santa Ana took to the hills. It's all over but the shouting.
Yes, this means the end of the war. Well, you fellas will soon be getting your discharges and heading back home.
Well, not me. I'm hitting the trail west.
West?
Well, that's the only place today for a red-blooded man.
How about you, Steve?
Well, I sort of had my belly full of the East, too, but I don't know. Are you staying in the Army, sir?
Of course, it's my career.
Some ways I wouldn't mind staying in myself.
Oh, Steve.
That is a fact. There wouldn't be any chance of keeping on serving under you, sir.
Well, the rumor is that I'm going to be sent back to West Point to teach mathematics.
Well, that lets you out, Steve. Hey, you come west with me. We'll make our fortunes together.
Well, maybe I will.
Good luck to the both of you.
Oh, we'll be seeing you again.
I'm being shipped out today with the rest of the wounded.
Then this is goodbye.
I'm afraid so. Goodbye, Red. Goodbye, Steve. It's men like you who made this war so short.
And men like you, too, sir.
We'll never forget you, Lieutenant Reno.
Howdy. Howdy. Seen your light. Mighty welcome night like this.
Most travelers find it so. Warm up.
Oh, thanks.
What you call this place?
Oh, ain't got no name. Just a way station on the Truckee River. Say, you fellas heading for California?
Oh, we just come from there. We're going to try our luck in Nevada now. How much you charge to bed folks down?
$1 a night.
You got 2 customers.
Want some supper?
You bet. Say, with the snow melting, that river's getting pretty full. It's liable to overflow and wash this place clear away.
Never has yet.
How long you been here?
Oh, quite a spell. Figured I could do better putting up prospectors than I could prospecting myself.
You are smart. Prospecting's for fools.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, look at us. We've been traveling over mountains and deserts for the last 11 years, ever since we left Mexico. What do we got to show for it? A few measly pickings. Beginning to wish I'd stayed in the Army.
Hopping on that again, huh?
Maybe I'll re-enlist. Go write Lieutenant Reno a letter.
You don't even know where he is.
I could send it to West Point.
Well, you don't even know where that is.
Sure I do. It's
at West Point.
Sure, you see? Jesse Lee Reno. That was one fine soldier.
Yeah, if we did join up, at least I'd have a decent pair of boots.
You mean you will?
I'll buy you outfits from you.
Let me see your money. Got a gold pan here. Shovel.
Got a pig.
Pot.
Got a tin dishes. I got something else in here.
What do you do with a bugle?
Well, I keep it, mister. Memory of some of the best days of my life.
Hey, fella, have you heard the news?
What news?
Silver. Silver?
Where?
Washoe Mountains.
Just yonder?
Them gold seekers have been throwing the stuff away, thinking it was worthless.
Turned out to be silver, huh?
High grade. The rush has already started. I've been thinking of giving up freight and sticking out a claim for myself.
Hey! Thanks for your hospitality. You leaving tonight?
Well, it'll be tomorrow before we get there. Sure don't mince words.
Yeah, looks like war for certain, don't it?
Yeah, blast it. Wish I'd stayed in the Army. Could be fighting now on Reno's team.
Oh, we could be fighting right here, Steve. Start a little war of our own.
Say, you're right. Look, there's a Union flag over at the courtroom. While I get it, you round up some of the fellas and find a pole. We'll plant it on top of the mountain, run up Old Glory. Show the world that Washoe County's for President Lincoln and the Union.
Yay, man. Yeah, that sure isn't like planting a flag at Chapultepec. I figured we was going to run into a little opposition anyway.
You know what Lieutenant Reno used to say? Surprise is 50% of winning the battle. Look at her flying up there.
Hey, look what's flying on the roof of Johnny Newman's saloon.
Confederate flag. What's the idea, Newman?
Headquarters of the Confederate States of America.
Ah, heck it is. This is Union territory.
Not anymore, it ain't. We're taking over. We're seizing Fort Churchill, too. And any demonstration you Yankees try to put on will go hard with you.
I'm going to shoot that flag down, so help me.
You get yourself killed? Don't be a fool. Well, tell them how many men are in that saloon, how many others are hidden in other buildings.
Well, what are we going to do? Just let that rebel flag fly?
We're going into Big Mike's and have a drink.
Now, look, Steve, this is no
Shut up,
time to
come
get...
on.
Give me a whiskey.
Make it two.
Who does that Johnny Newman think he is, calling this place Confederate headquarters? The next thing you know, they'll be marching up to the top of the mountain and hauling down a Union flag.
Let's round up everybody who feels like we do. Get some guns and chase those rebels out of town.
There's a better way than that, Steve. Eddie, saddle up a horse and ride to Fort Churchill as fast as you can. Tell them the rebels are trying to take over and to send a detachment of soldiers here on the double. The back way.
That's smart thinking, Red. Those soldiers will fetch that flag down from Johnny's saloon.
Well, don't need a whole detachment to do that. Hang around that door and hold Johnny's attention as much as you can.
Where are you going?
To stone Chapultepec.
Red, look out!
On the roof and back. Thought you could get away with something, huh?
Now, look, Rebel, this is Union territory.
That's where we disagree. Now, you run back up there and put that flag up.
Even if I did, it wouldn't stay there long. There's a detachment of soldiers from Fort Churchill on the way over here right now.
How do you know?
I sent for them. If you guys are smart, you'll clear out of here before they get here.
Hold it! He's lying. If there's soldiers on the way, he would have waited for them instead of climbing up to get the flag by himself.
It just happens I crave this privilege for myself.
Well, now, you can have the privilege of running it up again.
Not on your life.
You mean on yours? I'll give you till I count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
I was lying, huh? Well, just stick around and you'll have a chance to attend your own funeral.
Red, are you all right?
Couldn't be better. You should have seen those rebels scatter when they heard the soldiers coming. Where are they?
Well, I don't know. They ain't got here yet.
What do you mean ain't got here? I heard the bugles.
Well, that was me.
Well, I'll be a son of a gun.
Hey, Red. Yeah. Looky here. They made Lieutenant Reno a general.
General?
Says so right here. Grant, Stonewall Jackson. Them other fellas we knew as shaved tails.
Jackson's fighting for the South.
Naturally. Be queer, wouldn't it, if him and Reno met up?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It ain't right.
That Jackson and Reno should meet up?
Not in a war against each other, where once they were on the same side.
What can you do? We're in it.
Yeah, I know. Brother against brother, it ain't right.
An old soldier going soft? What would General Reno say?
Maybe it'd say, war don't solve nothing.
Howdy.
Hi, Fuller. Remember us?
Sure, I remember you two. You were here when the news come of the big Comstock strike, about 4 years ago. You two lit out of here like a couple of bats out of Hades. Been in Virginia City ever since?
Yeah, ever since.
Yeah, cleaning up, huh?
Can't complain at all.
Doing all right.
Well, what's the latest news?
It's about the same.
Since the telegraph went through, I hear less news than I did with the Pony Express. At least the ponies stopped here.
I see you build a bridge across the Truckee River.
Yeah, collect a lot of tolls. All that freight going up to the Comstock these days. Next thing I aim to do is put an addition on this room. Make a real trading post out of it.
Good location for it.
None better. Last stop on the overland route before crossing the Sierras.
Howdy.
Well, howdy, Captain.
My horse has a loose shoe. I wondered if...
Some nails right there in that box. Some shoes, too. Just help yourself.
Thank you. I should have had the blacksmith at the fort check before I left.
You from Fort Churchill?
Yeah.
What's the latest reports from the east?
The Yanks are still trying to take Richmond. Reno's death was an awful blow.
What?
What did you say?
I said Reno's death was an awful blow to the North.
General Reno dead.
Do you know him?
He was a friend of ours.
We served under him in Mexico.
Well, I'm sorry to bring you bad news.
Oh, sit down, Captain. Tell us how it happened.
Yeah, we'd like to know the details.
Well, the whole story of General Reno's death rightly started 3 days earlier, on September the 11th, 1862, when Reno pushed Stonewall Jackson and his Confederates out of Frederick, Maryland.
Jackson.
So they did meet.
You knew Jackson, too?
Well, they were both in Mexico on the same side when we served under Reno. But go on.
General Reno was welcomed by a delegation of citizens of Frederick, including the mayor.
We thought at first you were General Jackson returning
When did he leave?
yesterday, and glad we were to see him and his troops go.
Well, I was one citizen expecting Union troops.
Oh, that's been flying all along,
All the while the Confederates were here?
every minute. The rest of us, when we heard that General Jackson was going to occupy the town, we hid inside, but not the widow Fritchie. That old lady went straight upstairs and hung out the Union flag for everybody to see. Well, when General Jackson came riding up the street, the head of his men, and saw that flag, he turned kind of purple. And then he gave a command, and a couple of his men raised their muskets and took aim. And just then, Mrs. Fritchie leaned out the window. I closed my eyes. I couldn't bear to look. She's an old lady, sir. She's 70 if she's a day. But as she stood there holding that flag against herself, she looked like the spirit of the Union itself.
I used to know Stonewall Jackson. We were at West Point together, and in Mexico, too.
He gave orders that nobody was to touch the flag or harm Mrs. Fritchie.
Yes, he may be a rebel, but he's also a gentleman. I should like very much to meet the widow Fritchie.
Well, all you have to do is knock. She's at home.
Thank you, sir. I'm General Jesse Reno, ma'am, commanding general of the 9th Corps of the Union Army.
Hard on the heels of General Jackson.
Yes, ma'am, we're going right through. But I wanted to stop long enough to pay homage to a very gallant lady.
If my husband had been alive, I'd never have dared do what I did.
Mrs. Fritchie, I have a great favor to ask of you. Is there any way in which I could acquire that flag?
Oh, I'm afraid not, General.
Well, I don't mean to offend you, ma'am, but I was offering to buy it from you.
There isn't that much money in the United States.
I respect your feelings, ma'am.
I have another one, though, that I will give you. One that I made myself. I should be very proud to have you accept it, Jen.
Thank you, ma'am. I shall place it in my saddlebags and carry it with me as long as I live. Barbara Fritchie, I salute you. You're a very brave woman, a patriot. May this flag of yours wave above us both on a happier day.
God grant that it may, General Reno. God grant that it may.
Cots are all full. Leave him out here. I'll get to him as soon as I can.
He's dead, Doctor.
Dead? What'd you bring him here for? You know what to do.
It's General Reno.
Reno?
He was leading a charge. I think he died right off.
Here lies a great soldier, man.
Please, sir. This was in his saddlebag. He was showing it to some of us last night. A woman gave it to him in Frederick. He was very proud of it. I brought it because I thought...
I'm sure he would. Flag he loved and died for.
General Reno was killed in the Battle of South Mountain, 10 miles west of Frederick, on the 14th day of September. They gave him a military funeral, and then sent his casket home to his widow in Boston, draped in the flag that Barbara Fritchie had given him.
He was a great soldier.
One of the country's best defenders, the citation read.
Jesse Reno dead. Still can't believe it. I wish there was something we could do.
We ought to get up some kind of a memorial for him. Name a place after him, or like that.
Well, there's this place.
It ain't much. Hardly worth naming, let alone after a hero. But if you want to
It's been a haven for travelers, ain't it? Ever since Gold Rush days, right?
That it has.
And Fuller's planning to add to it. And there's the toll bridge.
Who knows, one day it might be an honest-to-goodness town.
Well, let's take a vote. Captain?
To General Reno.
Fuller.
It's all right by me.
Well, that makes it unanimous. From this day on, this place is named Reno.
The coming of the Central Pacific Railroad in 1868 made the name of Reno official. Land was auctioned off and a settlement sprung up. By 1871, it had become the county seat of Washoe County. Today, it is a city of thriving industry, beautiful homes, imposing public buildings, a university with the famous McKay School of Mines, public parks, and churches. And on the site of the old Pioneer Way station by the Truckee River, one of the great hotels of the West. Reno, the biggest little city in the world. Named for General Jesse Lee Reno, by two comrades who left him a far greater monument than they dreamed.